you know, some people wonder, how can you, um, how can you be an ecologist and eat animals, for example? I mean, this whole, uh, you know, domestic livestock farming and animals for human consumption thing. And I would just simply say at the outset that the truth is that everything is eating and being eaten. I mean, a compost pile is a bunch of beings eating and being eaten. That's how it works. And the fact is that plants are quite sentient as well. The more we know about plants, they emit pheromones and they do all sorts of amazing things. They track the sun. They speak to each other in chemical languages. And so this notion that life is somehow segregated and animals are somehow more living than plants is actually a very egocentric view. We say, well, because they make an audible noise that we can hear with our ears, well, then they're more special than something that makes a noise through phytochemicals, for example. And that's parsing life pretty directly. And so our position is that we want all of life to be respected and honored and in its niche and fulfilling its role. And one of the ways that we elevate the sacrifice of one being, whether it's a carrot or a mycorrhizae, a fungal filament, or a rabbit or a chicken, the way that we elevate that sacrifice that allows something else to live, the way we elevate it to a place of sacredness is by respecting and honoring the life that was lived, i.e., the tomatoness of the tomato, the pigness of the pig in its life, which then makes the sacrifice a sacred place and elevates it rather than cheapening it and demeaning it to a place of meaninglessness. And I think that our industrial food system, in taking a mechanistic view toward life, actually takes this sacred cycle, of life, death, decomposition, regeneration, life, death, decomposition, regeneration. The cycle that goes on, it actually disparages that cycle by disrespecting the phenotypical expression of the various players on that stage. And so we believe that we create an ethical, moral framework on which to hang a respect for the Maryness of Mary, the Tomness of Tom, by respecting the pigness of the pig and the tomatoness of the tomato, that this elevates life and creates a moral, ethical framework on which we honor and respect, each other. And I would suggest that a culture that simply views its biological life, plant, animal, whatever, microbial, nematodal, whatever, its life as simply mechanical, protoplasmic, inanimate structure to be manipulated however cleverly hubris can imagine to manipulate it, will view its citizens the same way and other cultures the same way. So it's not a matter of killing and eating, it's a matter of entering this amazing cycle of life, death, decomposition, regeneration, life, death, decomposition, regeneration. And as we step into that cycle, recognizing our place in that cycle, not as some sort of a dominant conquistador, but recognizing our place in that cycle as a complete dependent on its beautiful functionality. And you know what? It functions a lot better when the pig is happy and not just growing so fast that it grows out of its skin, or when the tomato is juicy and fully expressed of its nutrient capacity rather than just being a cardboard, transportable, distributable commodity. All right. All of that is part of this great reverence, nurturing, and respect that we have for our nest. And I think that's a primal philosophy, a moral code, if you will, that underpins at least my kind of thinking, and I hope others as well. Unfortunately, we don't have research projects in our land grant colleges that start with a premise of how can we make the tomatoes more nutritious? How can we make the pigs happier? It's all about growing it faster, fatter, bigger, cheaper, as if it's just protoplasmic structure. And I think that sends us down a slippery slope of ecological devastation when we pursue when that paradigm is the way we view the world. We're going to absolutely end up destroying the world on our way to get there. And that's not a good place to be. So it starts with respecting and honoring this nest, and what are all the components of that nest? How do we make a respectful place for all the players of that nest, and then whatever within that we can tweak and refine and use our big brains and mechanical ability, yes, to come to that and massage it so that Earth is not viewed as a reluctant partner to be subdued and forced and I'm going to make you do this thing, but rather Earth is an abundant lover who simply wants our caress, and it responds abundantly.